I would say not just in high-tech industries, Aditya, I think in general, I would probably say a couple of things. One is the issue of a sponsorship, right? When the higher you go in the corporate world, if you're a woman in general, but especially if you're a woman, the more important it becomes to have people that support you, right? And you can have supporters, and that's great, right? You can have your managers who can support you. You can have your peers who will also support you. But to really get to the highest levels, you need a sponsorship. And sponsorship really comes in the form of people who are vested in your success, who are the people who are going to be talking about you when you're not present in a room, when decisions are being made about, hey, there's this role that's just open, it's a VP level position, it's a C-level position, who should we bring to the table? If you don't have someone who can position you in those situations, it's going to be very hard, right? So looking for a sponsor who has enough level, enough power to make that kind of recommendation is going to be very, very important for women in high tech or in any industry to really get to higher levels in the corporate ladder. The second thing I would say is competence, right? Obviously, the fact that you are in higher positions also means that you need to be competent in what you do. You need to have a good performance. You need to be good at what you do. But you don't need to know or to do it all. So that's something very, very important, right? Competence just means that you know what you're doing, that you may be very good in certain field, but you don't need to know everything, which is a big problem for women, right? When we think about higher positions or a different job or a new project, we tend to be more on the conservative side, trying to say, well, you know, if I don't check all the boxes here, or if I don't know everything that's needed for this new role, I may not be the ideal candidate. And that's very different compared to men, right? Men may be like, you know what, I check 50% of those boxes and I still can do it. I know I can do it. And they go ahead and do it, right? So it's a little bit of self-fulfilling prophecy that if you don't feel confident enough, if you want to be kind of like that perfect match, sometimes those self-imposed rules will prevent us from really advancing in the corporate world too. So on one hand, you have a sponsorship, then you have the self-imposed restrictions or lack of confidence, and the part of the competence piece, right, which is very, very important. And then one additional thing I would say is that in the same way that being confident, being competent, having a sponsor is needed, the other thing is you need a network to support you. The higher you get in the corporate world, also the demands and the requirements compared to your daily personal life are going to be higher. It's going to be a more stressful environment. And remember, when we talk about life-work balance, well, hard to accomplish, right? But if you don't have a network who can support you to get through that balance that you want, that ideal state, it's going to be even harder, right? And when I talk about a network of support, I don't only talk about just in the workplace, right? You have to think about your personal environment. You have a network of support with your partner, with your husband, your wife, with your kids, with people who can take care of your children if you have children. So that's something important that we need to keep in mind. We don't need to do it all, and we don't need to do it alone. And if you are really shooting for the stars, and if you really want to go up the ladder, it's something that you need to work on building that network who's going to be supporting you so that you can reach your goals while at the same time not sacrificing that life-work balance.